Hi, in this video we'll be looking at how to use Publisher to create a report that organizes other content such as dashboard pages or reports or web pages in general into tabs. You can see I've got some tabs across the top here, and as I click on them different content is displayed. The first tab was a dashboard page and this one is a report. In the last tab here I have a menu which is a list of other reports that have been published in Publisher. First step is, of course, to create some dashboard pages and reports. Let's have a look at my dashboard pages that I've created. I've got one here for purchasing, another for sales. I'd like to put those into two separate tabs. If I come back to the linked list and look at my published reports, you can see I've got a whole collection of them. One of them is a menu. I'd like to put that on a tab as well. So to achieve this, I'm just going to close these links down. I'll start up Publisher and log in. And here's the list of the reports that currently exist in Publisher. I'm going to create a new report and allocate it a group. I'll just reuse the existing group, and I'm going to call this report tabs, and the title will be Sharperlight tabs. All published reports require a query, but this particular report's focusing on organizing other reports into tabs, so I just need some small light query. So I'm going to use the system and bring out the company details and just put out the name. This query itself won't be used directly, but we need to supply it with something. Now I have a query. I can go to the Report tab and have a look at the Layout section. If I enable the Layout section and hit the Edit button, I can get into the Publisher Layout Editor. Up the top here, I have a choice between dashboards and tabs. I'd like to select the tab option, and over on the right hand side, click New. So on the first tab, this will be the default content that we want to display. You can see from the detailed section that it's going to display a report with a code of demo tabs, which is itself. We'd like to put the dashboard page sales on the first tab, so let's change this content to be a dashboard page, and then we can browse for the dashboard. So here's the dashboard page for sales. So just double click on that, and down in the tab title we'll type sales. Let's do the same process. Click on New for purchasing. Change the content not to show a report but a dash page, and again we'll browse for the purchasing dashboard page and change the title to purchasing. I said that we'd put dashboard pages on the first two tabs, and then we'd place a report on the third, which is profit and loss. So I'll just go New again, and this time instead of choosing the dashboard page, I'm going to leave it on report. Come to the report code, and here's all the published reports that have been done, and one of them is called profit and loss. So I'll place that on the third tab and give the tab profit and loss. The final tab will be another report, but that'll be a menu, and that's this particular report here. Menus are created in Publisher by doing a right click on the main screen and go select Create Menu. This helps you to navigate to a large number of reports. If I look at the top section, I can change the size of the font on the tab bars, and by default it's quite small, so let's change the default to make it 16 point. And I can also change the color as well. I'll change the color to dark red. Let's go OK to that and apply and go back into the web channel. I'll close this one here. And let's have a look at our published list now. There should be a new one in the list called tabs. Here it is down at the bottom. I click on this. You can see that on the first tab it's put the dashboard page for sales, and then purchasing and profit and loss, which is not a dashboard page but a report. And I forgot to put the title in for the last one, which was the menu, but that's easily fixed. Now we have the basis for our dashboard with tabs. What we'll do is put a title up the top of this web page. So go back into Publisher and go to the Report tab and edit the content again. And let's put in the title up here, the name of the report. So I'll just say it's Sharperlight tabs, and I'll fix up that last tab name, which is other, and apply, and let's have a look at it now. So this is a very simple way of getting a title at the top. You can see there that I had options to left align and change the font color, things like that. So it's very simple. If you need to go beyond a simple title across the top and like to put branding and maybe who the current user is that's logged in, you need to create a header template. So let's have a look at how that's done now. Go back into Publisher and I'll edit the layout again, and I'll say that there's no requirement for a title because we'd like to do something that's more customized. If we come back into the report tab, you see there's options here for custom footers and headers and CSS styling. This requires some knowledge of HTML, and it'll allow you to take full control over the header and footer and inject whatever HTML content you like in there. So let's just enable the header. And for those of you who are not familiar with HTML, we have some templates. So I'm just hit the reference button and we come into Publisher. You can see these other options allow you to embed content and get today's date and the user details and put them throughout the header. But what we're after is a custom report header HTML template. So I'll select that. And let's just see what the template does before we change it. So we'll apply and have a look at the header. So it has it's taken the title of the published report and placed it in here, and it's white with a blue background with a logo in the corner. So let's change this text to be black on white, and we'll also look at how to change the logo. So we'll go back into Publisher, edit the header. Well, to change the title, you can see up the top here we've got a bit of HTML that says background color, and it has a hash and a number. That's the color. So let's just change that for white. And the color of the text, well, let's, instead of putting in a hash color, HTML color, we'll just say it's black. If we have a look down here, you can see these curly brackets are saying take the name of the published report and place it in here. So we'll leave that because that's fine. We'd like to change the report name and title and have it automatically picked up. And down here is where the logo or the icon in the corner is done. You can see that we have a address or URL address and then the size of the logo. What I'd like to do is change that. So what I can do is browse to a website. Let's bring a website in here. Let's say that this is your website and you have some logos that you would like to use. So let's have a look. I'd like that graphic to appear in the corner. So let's go right click on the image, and go properties, and that's the address for that particular picture. So let's copy that. And we don't need that anymore. So we'll come over to this template and we'll replace that logo with a new picture. And we'd like to just change the size of it. We'll make it 70 pixels high and 180 pixels wide. And we'll go OK to that, apply, and refresh. So you can see now that we've got full control over the header section, and we've changed the colors, and we've placed our own logo in the top. While we're on the tabs, if we're displaying dashboard pages, you can see here that the edit options appear. So if we were to give someone a link to this dashboard page, they would be able to change the content. We'd like to lock this down so that when we send them the link, they won't be able to edit the content of this particular page. So we need to place a lock on this page. To do that, come back into Publisher and go into Layout, and here we have our sales and purchasing. If I click on Sales, you can see here that we have URL parameters that allow you to override the default behavior. So I'd like to say it's locked. Just put an ampersand, locked equals yes or 1. Doesn't really matter. So I'll just put it on the first tab and see what happens. Apply and refresh that page. Oh, my mistake. Looks like the wording for the lock is not locked, but lock. And apply. Let's see what happens now. You can see that the icon for editing has now disappeared, and I will not be able to change the content. That's a brief overview of creating tabs to organize content.